Baker Mayfield has been part of the Browns' considerations for that #1 pick. Our college football analyst Jonathan Vilma spoke this morning on whether Mayfield is worthy of being the top pick in the 2018 draft.
In my mind, he is worthy of that. The key statistic for me was the turnovers. When you look at Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, they all had issues turning the ball over, but Baker Mayfield got better as he progressed through his college career. So when you look at a team and you're saying, all right, who gives us the best chance to win? If you don't turn the ball over, you can win, or you can be in most games. And he doesn't have to start right away. They have Tyrod Taylor.
The Patriots will have Tom Brady under center this fall. His agent, Don Yee, said Tom's intentions have not changed. He's consistently said he'll play beyond this contract and into his mid-40s or until he feels he isn't playing at a championship level. More First Take, always at a championship level right now.
Very kind of you, Will. So Brady's back and planning on playing for a while, but in other news, his team could be thinking about a backup plan. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the Patriots are interested in Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Lamar Jackson. The report says that New England hosted Jackson a couple of weeks ago and were, quote, intrigued and impressed. So the question we asked Max is, should the Patriots want to keep Brady around for a few more years?
Well, they have no choice now. They made their bed. They got to lie in it. I mean, Brady was, listen, Belichick's whole MO has always been a year too early instead of a year too late. Sometimes it's not even about early or late. It's just the right move to make to improve the team. And Brady always went along with that until his number came up. And then as it has been reported, that he then goes, Brady goes to Robert Kraft, the owner, asks him to intercede essentially. You blink, Garoppolo is traded away. Belichick can't be too happy about that. Josh McDaniels, about to sign as a head coach, comes running back to be the offensive coordinator, Brady's guy. Gronk is still on the team in spite of all the rumors, oh, he's going to be gone. Obviously, they made their Brady bed. They're going to lie in it. Now, as I have predicted all along, I expect him to be off the cliff this season, meaning he will no longer be Tom Brady. But even if he is Tom Brady still, and I'm wrong about that, time will tell. Even if he is, you know what the second most important position on an NFL team, particularly with a 41-year-old quarterback who every time he takes the field, if he remains elite, is setting and resetting the record for longevity? The second most important position is the backup quarterback. So, of course, the Patriots have to take a quarterback. Doesn't necessarily have to be Lamar Jackson. I suspect his draft stock is rising anyway, may not be there when the Patriots pick. But Belichick is going to have to identify a quarterback in this draft. If he's not in the draft, some other team's backup maybe, and bring him on. And here's the thing about Belichick, guys. It's not just the identifying of the talent. It's the development of it. And that gives the Patriots an enormous advantage. Belichick is going to have to not only identify a guy he thinks he can bring into the fold, but then actually develop him. And they're going to have to do it right now because they had a couple guys who aren't there anymore. Brissett in Indianapolis and obviously Garoppolo in San Francisco. They must draft a backup.
Well, first of all, do me a favor. For somebody that takes about 5 different positions for every single topic he discusses, stop telling the world, like I said, as if you said one definitive thing. You usually don't. That's number one. Number two, Lamar Jackson. We heard you speak. Well, zip it. Number two, I'd rather have Lamar Jackson in New Orleans, not New England. That's just my personal preference. Now let's get to the whole Brady thing, because I can't believe that we're even asking this question. Should the Patriots want to keep Brady? You mean a 5-time champion? You mean a 5-time champion who just finished throwing for 500 yards in the Super Bowl? You mean a 5-time champion who just threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl, who was a league MVP caliber player? You mean that Tom Brady, who would not want to keep him? He's got the experience. He still has the arm strength. He has, obviously, the football acumen, the savant that he is on the football field. He knows the system backwards and forwards, and he no longer has to worry about Garoppolo because y'all got rid of him. So since that's the case, why wouldn't you want to keep him? That is the epitome of obvious, for crying out loud. Now, having said all of that, let's also understand. I said I'll let you speak. Hold on. Now that we've got all of that out the way, let's be clear about something here. Tom Brady still has time left. I didn't like the report that came out. I never believed it, though, because this is a guy that's been religious about wanting to play the game of football. Why would you go to Robert Kraft? Why would you show the years of loyalty and commitment that you've shown? have this guy or incentivize this guy to make a move where Garoppolo is basically sent packing to San Francisco, where he ultimately nets $137 million, all right, or at least grosses it. The fact of the matter is, Tom Brady there was never a question mark as to whether or not Tom Brady was going to play this year, because there is no way in hell that Tom Brady would go through all of that and obviously give his word to Robert Kraft and then go back on it. So this is really about New England. And what we really should be asking is, how much should Tom Brady want to stay in New England? Because then that gets into the meat of it all, which involves Bill Belichick and whether or not there's some luster that's dimmed from his shine. That's what we need to be thinking about there as it pertains to the New England Patriots.
Yep, that's right. And the reason is Robert Kraft failed a very important test at a critical juncture of the history of the Patriots. The test is, even when the smartest guy in football, the hardest working guy in football, Bill Belichick, the greatest GM/coach who ever lived in the history of the NFL, when that guy makes a decision that is going to be extremely unpopular and in the short run look bad, do you stick with him? Do you trust him or not? And the answer for Robert Kraft was no, not in the case of Tom Brady.
But what would your answer be? I want to. No, I've never asked you that. I've never asked you that. I'm going to ask you this right now on national television. Max Kellerman, with the way that Tom Brady was playing, Tom Brady's a five-time champion for you. Based on a couple of starts, are you saying that you would have never moved Garoppolo, that you would have let Tom Brady retire or go to another team?
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
That's exactly. And by the way, I wouldn't.
Now that's definitive.
I wouldn't do it.
That's definitive.
I wouldn't do it because I'm the owner and that's my opinion. I would do it because I've hired Bill Belichick, the best there's ever been, and that seems to be his opinion.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Belichick's opinion.
No. I'm not asking you from Kraft's position. I'm asking you as if you were Bill Belichick. What I'm saying to you, don't have Bill Belichick. Listen, don't have Bill Belichick as a cushion. If you were Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were your quarterback, based on a couple of starts, you're telling me you would have told Tom Brady, well, you got to retire because we're moving in the direction of Garoppolo. You can leave now?
Given the way Tom Brady played in the Super Bowl, given the way he played there, I would absolutely take it week to week in the upcoming season. Obviously, he's threw for 500 yards. So my prediction may be wrong. We will see, but it may be right. And the cliff can come at any moment if you study history. Therefore, if I've already invested the draft pick, yes, if I've already invested the draft pick and several years of resources into developing Garoppolo, I would not have moved Garoppolo. I would have paid him, I would have kept him around, and he would be on the Patriots now, even if it meant a disgruntled Tom Brady, even if it meant Tom Brady wouldn't be on the team.
That's what I'm asking, that last part. If it meant Tom Brady moving on, and you had to make that call, and you were in Bill Belichick's position, you're saying you would have went with Garoppolo, not Tom Brady. That's all I want to know.
If I had to make that call, yes. Recall, Stephen A., you and I both came up in, baby, you're a little older than me, 6 years older than me, but we came up in the Bill Walsh era, the Joe Montana, Steve Young era, and how many years was Steve Young on that team? And everyone knew that's the best backup in football. But Joe Montana's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, but he had more reps.
He's really the guy that Tom Brady replaced.
He had more reps. Joe Montana had gotten hurt. We had seen enough from Steve Young, not to mention he had performed in the USFL, things of that nature. So there was a body of evidence that he had. We only had 2 starts from Garoppolo.
Therefore, it's not as cut and dried. But given age, given what we've seen from Garoppolo, and that's why I said I'd take it game to game with Brady. I wouldn't just get rid of Brady. But if I was forced to make that decision, I would. Recall, Joe Montana did not end his career. Joe Montana, who was the original Tom Brady, right? Dan Marino was the guy who was really better, everyone thought, but Montana was in a more sophisticated system, better coach, more championships, greatest of all time, much like Brady Peyton. Similar in that way, although Brady's numbers eventually almost match Peyton's too toward the end. He's gotten incredible in that way too. But the point is, Montana was Brady. He ended his career on the Chiefs. He ended his career in Kansas City, not in San Francisco. Let history be your guide. And San Francisco continued to win Super Bowls after Montana left.
Walsh was gone, and ultimately George Seifert was the coach. Let's not forget that.
All I know is you got to be feeling optimistic if you're a Niners fan. Jimmy G, John Lynch doing good things up there. Coming up, gentlemen, what did Pete Carroll say about his quarterback situation that has us scratching our heads? Find out next. Plus, Dwayne Wade's performance has been up and down since returning to the Heat this season, and Stephen A. has some strong feelings about his future in the association. He'll explain that after the break.
Let's get it on.